Hi, welcome to For the Culture Canada, the center point of art and entrepreneurship. Before we get into today's episode, I just wanted to make sure to let you know that if you follow us on Apple Podcasts, make sure to rate us and review us. We'd really, really appreciate it. But anyway, today I have a media company that I'm quite excited to talk about and talk to, mostly because I find that the niche that they sort of go into compared to a lot of other people that I talk to is that these guys are on the forefront of sort of like business and getting a wide variety of work done, including, real estate, music videos, lifestyle, events, and so on. And these guys are actually quite prolific already in the sense of on Google, if you look them up, they'll actually have unanimous 5-star reviews already saying they're professional, they're very prompt, they deliver incredible content, they have visionary and creative aspects that'll keep you assured for every step of the design process. And even somebody says that their customer service is second to none, Chick-fil-A included, and they listen and will accommodate to your wants and needs like a guy on a third date before he closed the deal. So take that in for what you want. You can take that however you want, but all I'm saying is these guys are good. So of course I'm talking about Matt, John, and Tyler from Amarok Media Co. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thanks for having us here. Welcome. It's great to be here.
Yeah, of course. By the way, just pass the microphone to each person whenever you guys are. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, thank you for being a part of the show. Thank you so much for coming along. How's your guys' day been so far?
It's been good. We were excited to wake up and get here today to start this. It's nice to have another podcast person in our lives and then maybe be able to collaborate from time to time ongoing with.
I think that sounds like a dope idea. Also, do you guys want to introduce yourselves so the audience knows?
So you're hearing right now the sultry tones of Matt Shea, one leg of the tripod that is Amarok Media, and here's our creative director.
Hi, I'm Tyler Meservy, creative director, sitting here with these fine gentlemen this morning. Pretty excited to be here.
And this is the monotone monologue of John Anderson.
All right. And so, Matt, you're the leader of the group here. And John, you're considered the North Star, whatever that is, business relations and whatnot.
You'll understand soon enough.
All right. And then Tyler, you're the creative director. So how did you guys, so before we get into all of this, before I get into the usual first questions, is your name based off of Witcher 3 or is that inspired by Witcher 3 at all?
So no, and great question. Everyone asks where this name comes from, and it comes from actually first determining what we wanted to base our brand about.
Right.
And we settled on a wolf. The idea of the wolf, I could speak for this whole session about great attributes that have to do with it, the leadership. Wolves are ancient. They've been around forever. They're not going anywhere. You always have a leader in a pack, but you always have a pack. They're very loyal. They're migratory. They're always on the move, so very proactive. We could go on forever. We figured out, okay, we want this logo and this wolf and this company to be something moving onward and upward and always kind of getting what we're going for. And then Tyler did a little bit of research, and we came up with Amarok. And do you want to maybe talk a little bit about why that word came to be?
Yeah, we like the idea of the wolf and everything. And I was looking into ancient wolves and wolf mythology and came across the legend of the Amarok, which I believe, and I might be getting this wrong because it's a Wikipedia article, so I didn't check all the sources. But what I was reading was the Amarok is actually this kind of, oddly enough, a bit of a lone wolf, but a giant wolf in the north and kind of a feared hunter. And that, even though it was a lone wolf, I think we were, all three of us, kind of each an Amarok coming together to create a pack of Amarok.
Okay.
If that makes any sense. We were all kind of wanting to come into this with this idea of we want to be fierce competitors in the industry and just kind of hunt out all the jobs and, really get it from there.
Yeah, get it done.
Yeah,
totally. Very cool. So now I want to get into your histories a little bit. How did you guys get into working with multimedia in the first place, and then how did you guys meet? Are you guys childhood friends or?
So we actually have known each other for quite a while. John and I are a little closer in age. Tyler's about just a year, I think, in advance. John and I grew up as best friends from elementary, so really cannot get rid of the guy, and he the same, and nor would we want to.
Yeah.
And then we come from a very small town in Nova Scotia, so we're East Coasters. And I say small town, we're talking about 6,000 maybe at its peak on the best
Wow.
day when everybody shows up to tell you they're there. And so, of course, that means we know Tyler. So we all go to the same schools, same elementaries, junior highs, high schools. You know everybody.
Yeah.
Department.
And one of the first places I moved into out of high school was actually an apartment with this guy where I got to know him a little bit better. We were, at that point, more into, I think, both being musicians. So we would always talk about and sing and rap and create and do
Right.
stuff on that level.
Yeah.
But really, that's kind of how we all know each other. And then Tyler led the way as far as multimedia goes in more recent years. So that's, because that's like 15, 20 years ago. Now
Yeah.
we're talking about the past 5 to 10 has been more. We went out and we all did our own things, but stayed in touch, collaborated here and there.
Right.
Until we could me and Tyler lived in Halifax together, do things more often.
Okay.
Outside of our other 9 to 5s, some film fests, some short films, music videos, dumb songs, things like that. And then we decided, okay, well, we've got something going here. Let's try making it a bit of a business. And we had a couple other sort of ventures, you would say, that were not formal businesses, but we were trying to get a brand established and kind of get our feet wet and gain some experience. And
Yeah.
that kind of led us to getting more to multimedia, more video creation than like our musical past, I think. But we
Right.
try to include some of that in every creative we do. And we try to, I guess, use music to influence our content.
Oh, okay. What kind of music do you guys all like?
Oh man, we like anything as long as it's good. It's got a good beat, good melody. Since we're all musicians, there's good country, there's good rap, there's good, maybe even good top 40. But blues, jazz, anything instrumental.
I just want to say the guys are always making fun of me because I'll be sitting in the office listening to random movie scores or television scores, and it kind of, I think we all like a bunch of different things, but we all have our own flavor of the things we like, and
Right.
yeah.
You wouldn't know it, but we got some musical talents that we're waiting to unleash upon Kelowna here.
Really? So
Yeah.
like
some fun projects that we're going to start working on to kind of
Okay.
say, hey, like we're not looking for a record deal, but hey, we're out here. Let's jam. Let's have some fun, especially with like our access to studio space and things like that. It's
Yeah.
it's a great opportunity for us to kind of stretch those legs again.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, so like, what kind of sound did you guys have before? Are you guys gonna pursue that again, or is it like a new thing altogether?
I have a background in hip hop,
Okay.
mostly like writing and not so much like massive performing, but like kind of performing my own stuff.
Right.
Partnering it back in the day with a person who would produce.
Right.
Tyler, he's a bit of everything.
Okay.
Most instruments, a little bit of singing too, but he's got his own hip hop album too. Like we're
Really?
we're really
Oh.
a good mix of everything. And John is great on a guitar too. And so there's sort of like no genre we won't touch or poke fun at or have fun with or play around with.
Yeah, our small town, a lot of people are musicians there, and that's
Right.
kind of one of the things that would always bring us together is we're going out to see friends' bands and things. And while living in Halifax, when our friends' bands would come up there, that's when Matt and I would start collaborating on making music videos for them and
Yeah.
kind of embracing our love of music, but going from it at a totally different angle with the videos and photos and graphics and things like that.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Okay, very cool, very cool. So when it came to so you guys have been working together for quite a few years now. You guys have lived together even and gotten some sort of like preliminary business work done. So then what made you guys want to like necessarily start off with Amarok then and like really solidify it after all this time?
Well, we spent a lot of time over the last couple of years kind of waiting to get together, waiting to start something, and practicing to start
Right.
something, right? So we met up this spring and all got together, and the guys came up to Kelowna where I already was, and we just fell in love with the culture here and fell in love with the landscape and the people, and it was just kind of an inspiration to say, this is our time. This is when we're gonna start.
Yeah.
Let's start now, not tomorrow. Let's start now.
Good call.
Yeah, and we all got into it. We all dove head in. These guys quit their jobs, moved out. We formed a company. We're a legally binding company, and we're here to take over.
Very cool. What's it feel like?
It's exciting, man. It can be a wave of emotions. Like it can be nerve wracking, it can be daunting,
Yeah.
but for the most part, it's just like very influential, very motivating, very captive.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. Its energy is what it is.
Yeah, and that's the beauty about entrepreneurship. And you know what? I find that artistry has they're very much two sides of the same coin, right? It's like when it comes to being a musician and being an entrepreneur, it very much has the same type of like you have to market yourself, you have to know the business behind it, and understand the contracts and money and everything like that. So I wanted to go into how did you guys find Kelowna in the first place? Like you guys are from the East Coast. How did you guys know that this place even existed?
Great question, because we told a lot of people. It was either hit or miss. We were like, hey, we're moving out to Kelowna, and people were like, that's the one place I want to go visit in Canada. Or they were like, what? Where's that? Who's that? What's that? Who's that? But I think this one's for John. He was the first one here.
Yeah, so I actually moved out to Alberta about 8 years ago and lived there for 8 years.
Yeah.
And then would visit Kelowna on the regular and had a bunch of friends here, come here every summer. And summer in the Okanagan's world renowned. So after a while, it's just like, I should live here. I want to live here. I'm going to live here. I'm living here.
Oh,
Yeah,
so cool.
We left the past behind. And as soon as anybody gets a taste of the Okanagan, I think it's the same kind of mentality.
Yeah. What's the reputation like in Kelowna, like over in the East Coast? Like, why do people say like, oh, I want to go there? Why do they say that?
It's the California, Canada, man. It's gorgeous here. It's beautiful, especially coming from the East Coast. We're water-based people.
Yeah.
Like, it's just very important to us. And to have one of the biggest lakes in Canada and one of the nicest lakes in Canada is just huge, right?
Yeah. And it's super versatile living here. Like in the summer, you have the lakes, as you were saying. And then in the winter, you have the mountains, right?
It's the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
And you don't get that really anywhere else in Canada.
True. Yeah.
And another thing everyone doesn't know is that it is constantly blowing a gale in Nova Scotia. Like on a good day, it's still windy.
What does blowing a gale mean?
So it means it is like very high pressure winds.
Oh.
Very often. Like they call Chicago the windy city. It should be Nova Scotia the windier city. The windier province.
Yeah.
It's very so even in the summer you can have like a cold breeze, and then you can imagine if it's already -5 or something in the winter, and then our wind comes, there's a wind chill of -30 all of a sudden. And it's just wind. It's not that cold, but your face is, red raw. You got to have scarves. Everything's got to go on.
Yeah.
The other thing too is the salt. So salt goes on the roads everywhere there.
Yeah.
It's a little different. And it's nice to not be in those like dry, weird... It's not depressing. Winter gets darker and I guess more depressing everywhere in that way that they say, oh, the winter depression. I just mean it's a bit dreary. It's a bit wetter. It's not the same kind of climate here.
Right.
So what I'm getting at is it's just temperate and beautiful here. And why not leave somewhere where, you have to chain down your patio furniture every wind season?
Yeah. Another great thing about this area too is this is where things are happening.
Right.
I love Halifax, and it's beautiful there, even though Matt just kind of ripped it up with how windy it is. It is beautiful there, if it's not too windy. And but yeah, it's just this is where things are happening. So many television shows and movies are being shot just 4 hours away in Vancouver.
And even here in the Okanagan as well.
And here in the Okanagan, which it's growing more and more every year. We hear a lot about it in the industry locally. And yeah, it's just there's a lot of opportunity around here, and that was very attractive to us.
Yeah, and as you guys know, I just interviewed Jordan Powers, and he goes on to film sets all the time. Do you guys ever go on to work with him as well outside of Amarok?
So since we've been here, we've been privileged enough to really be on the go. And other than like kind of talking shop or stepping into a project when it's happening at the factory, where we're stationed, we haven't been like kind of going to excursions or locations with them guys yet.
Yeah.
But we talk about it a lot. We can't wait to when everybody has the right schedule for it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's hard to coordinate such a huge amount of people, but I think having you guys on there is would be a good asset, because you guys clearly know what you're doing with your own business. So yeah, you guys have sort of ventured into, instead of sort of doing like the whole YouTube thing or doing sort of like being a part of something else, you guys have ventured into your own sort of like style of doing your work. And you guys have, yeah, I was mentioning earlier, you guys kind of have more of a really professional edge to it, right? So what made you guys want to go in that direction versus something else?
Remember that thing you mentioned about small business, like business percentages? Just in that kind of vein is kind of the reason why we're approaching it so structured.
Right.
I think one of the things too that jumped out at us about that kind of vision towards this company is the idea that we want to be as cinematic as possible with everything we're doing.
Yeah.
And kind of we're taking a few pages from the Casey Neistat book, which is, get out there. I flicked it down for a second.
Yeah, flick it back up. Oh, you're good. You're good. Yeah.
Good to go. Awesome. Yeah, the Casey Neistat style, like vlogging, but with a cinematic flair. We're trying to bring that into business and advertising and marketing.
Yeah.
So things aren't as stilted as kind of the commercials we grew up with, where, newer generations coming up and millennials and even younger than that, it's really hard to sell them things because we see through everything these days. Mm-hmm. So to be able to give the ads some style, to the videos, the photos, whatever it is, the graphic design, some style that lends itself more towards cinema and being real with people. I think that's definitely one of our goals for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like with video especially, it gives us so much more power to be creative. With our musical backgrounds, it's all audio and instruments. We still get to do that.
Yeah.
Plus video creation, plus editing, plus lenses, plus set and setting, plus characters, scripts. Like, the world is our oyster. And right now, the way the world's going with, YouTube and even pre-rolls and marketing and IG and Facebook and Twitter and Musical.ly, like, there's just no end. Like, our versatility can be put over every platform, and our work is never done. So there's always more to do. There's always more to see. There's always more to shoot. There's always more to create. And that was what attracted us, that the world is in such a technology-based era right now that it's just very exciting, right?
Yeah. It's that's why it's so much easier for people to start up companies like yours and be an entrepreneur nowadays, which is so awesome. Like, being like, you guys have probably heard Casey say that, making films was so hard, and like, what is the most expensive art forms like back in the 20th century, but nowadays you pick up your iPhone and you can create a music video. You can like do that on a commercial level, which is crazy.
Yeah, there's no better time than now. Technology allows anybody to do it right now.
Yeah.
And with our 3 different skill sets, it just was the perfect trifecta. We're all very creative, so each video, to put our stamp on it, has to be done right. We don't release it until it's perfect and above everybody else,
right?
In our opinion, right?
So
Tyler is very, very creative and does a lot of editing. Matt storyboards a lot. I bring a little bit of the business sense to the business. It's just the perfect kind of trifecta for Amarok to be a national brand.
Right. So you were saying, I'll find out what North Star means when it refers to you. So tell me what that means, man.
Good segue.
Well, I've been doing business aside from Amarok for the past 4 years now.
Yeah.
Through Alberta and Saskatchewan and BC. So just the North Star being, I can help Amarok miss some of the mistakes that I've already made in business, through taxes and CRA and financial institutions and all the hurdles that every entrepreneur goes through, because they don't teach you those things in school.
Yeah.
You learn them by trial and error. So me being the North Star, I can help to deflect situations and problems that will cause us pain.
That's cool. Have you ever been to any sort of business school or anything like that, or is it sort of just trial and error?
I am a successly proud dropout of 2 business schools.
Yeah. Give me a high five for that one.
I say that with extreme pride. I went to university twice, dropped out both times because the courses I was taking had nothing to do with business, but they were prerequisites. I took a course on extraterrestrial life, biological anthropology, obviously never going to help you in the business world. And I didn't have the funds to be paying for these courses, so I just said, you know what, screw it. I'm going to drop out, and I'm going to do this on my own the right way.
Good call.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you just sort of do it. Yeah, I respect that. Yeah.
With the internet today, how it is, it's like you could watch probably YouTube videos on every aspect of business.
Yeah.
And save, thousands upon thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
Everything's out there now, and
Totally.
and there's no better experience than experience. And
Yeah.
getting out there and doing it,
Yeah.
It's the best way to learn, that's for sure.
Yeah. And there's one thing that I find that college wouldn't teach you. And, hold on, computer. Okay. There's one thing that I found that college doesn't teach you is motivation. Like, you can learn on the, the practical side of it, but there's no college that can beat a Gary Vaynerchuk music or Gary Vaynerchuk video. You know what I mean? Like, that is motivation to the max. Like, if you don't get hyped up watching that, I don't know what the hell is wrong with you.
Definitely, and that's a great point. Like him, Tony Robbins, and in our industry, like, The Rock, yeah, and he's on in every asset.
Well, Kevin Hart, I don't know.
And like, so we can go check out, like we mentioned, Casey and all these vloggers and like video centric moguls and motivators and influencers, and so. What we're doing is not spending so much time in that classroom, but self-educating and getting out there and playing with those toys, figuring out how to use them, figuring out maybe if we can some new ways to use them that everyone else isn't thinking about because they've been programmed for the specific maybe styling of their professors there or that way of that school, or well, this was the curriculum when I went there. We learned all about this type of photography or this type of film. But there's so much more than whatever anything is. We're always creating and evolving everything together as a whole industry, as a collective.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And it's just like how we were talking to that teacher just before our interview. She was saying, oh, yeah, I was teaching all this stuff and now it's not even useful anymore.
Yeah,
like cursive, nobody uses, like, not that many people write in cursive anymore.
It's not necessary to do business. It's a great thing and everything. Penmanship is, woohoo and great when you write a birthday card. But at the end of the day, can you type up or can you print out or can you communicate whatever you need to do to get the job done? And that's kind of what we do. We blaze our own trail in this forest that this wolf runs in.
Yeah.
In the world we live in now, you need to learn 10 years ahead. And
yeah.
A lot of the schooling systems are 10 years behind. So
100%. Yeah. Personally, I've always found that the methods that they teach in school just never really seem to click with me all that well. You know what I mean? Like, I just always found that schooling just wasn't like, unless it was like very hands-on, like an electronics class or something like that, or music or whatever, I wouldn't, it just wasn't like the best way to learn. And I find a lot of people sort of agree in that front. Like, even that teacher that we were talking to was saying that a lot of the curriculum is now changing to be more hands-on, and I think that is the way of the future. Yeah. Because a lot of the things that you, for example, learn off of the internet, off of YouTube, it'll say, okay, step-by-step instructions, and you can do it hands-on while learning online, which makes it very easy to learn like Final Cut or Premiere or like whatever it is that you use, and it makes making videos a lot easier nowadays. Yeah.
Totally agree there, yeah.
Yeah, but once again, though, you guys have this edge, though, because you have actually used already tons of experience in creating films and being in business already for so long. So I want to get into what you guys have already done here in Kelowna since you guys have started Amarok. What have you guys... So you guys have actually worked with Supplement King and also a few other real estate joints to sort of show off some, homes and whatnot. So what else have you guys done here since starting in Amarok?
So we've had the privilege of being able to already be versatile with clients that we've taken on.
Yeah.
Of course, I can say certain things, and some things have to wait until they're releasing the promotional content we're creating for them.
Sure.
But being able to do stuff like you'll see, we collaborated with Predator Ridge out there.
Yeah.
For kind of a longer piece. It's something that the longest piece is something more. Not private. It's something they're showcasing at their location.
Yeah.
So that's not everything you can find, but I think we do have that on our YouTube. Do we have a link on?
For folks who aren't familiar, what is Predator Ridge?
Predator Ridge, yeah,
good question.
Exactly. So Predator Ridge being a massive like kind of golfing community over in near Lake Country or in Lake Country.
Yeah,
I don't know how the regions are like most specifically broken up yet, but what they are is a real estate development company that builds lifestyles around their developments to make them more appealing for people. So
Right.
they're known for their golf courses, they're known for their restaurants and the other amenities, and having them reach out to us and look to work with us so early on, it was good for our confidence in this community, seeing that others are already seeing what we've got. Now let's go nail that out of the park. It's like being called to the baseball game. You still haven't swung the bat yet, though.
Yeah.
And then we got to swing the bat, and we hit a home run. So it kind of opened some doors for us, actually.
Yeah.
And we really like doing that because it was more of lifestyle content, which is
Yeah.
right up our alley. It's our bread and butter, but we'll do anything. I think we really all like to be outdoors, in nature, living life, around people, doing sports and stuff. So if we can blend that with the kind of clientele that we're working with, it's our most ideal situation.
You know, that's actually really interesting because you guys have such a love for the Okanagan here, which the people that kind of grew up and living here were already like, oh yeah, we know the Okanagan. But you guys can actually flex your filmmaking by actually filming something you really, really love and get a sort of a cinematic sort of vibe on all of this stuff.
Yeah, like just being here, we've already taken advantage of it. I think, just like you said, because we're kind of new to it, you know, we'll spend a whole day shooting where we climb a cliff.
Yeah,
Just to get that content, where like a lot of other people may be like, I already climbed that 5 times or whatever, but we're just eager to go do it, right?
Yeah.
And even on the ride in this morning, like looking up at the mountains covered in a bit of snow, like they're getting more and more dusty as the days go.
Yeah.
And it just makes me excited for the possibilities of things coming this winter, and like shooting on different ski hills around the local area, and snowmobiling, everything, ice skating. They just opened a new skating rink in town, the outdoor one, and we shot a little video there. So yeah, I love this area already. It still hasn't totally set in that I'm living in BC, but like when I see, you know, the snow on the mountains, it kind of clicks in for a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we've been so nose down to the grind, just, hey, let's keep getting things out there, let's keep creating.
Yeah.
That it sort of seems like we've been here forever because we work so hard, but also it feels like we're still not even here. Like we moved here yesterday.
Yeah.
It's like not that we're not settled, but it's like we haven't settled for the good reasons. We haven't slowed down. We haven't relaxed. We haven't stopped. There's always an idea. There's always something to do.
Yeah.
And it keeps it feeling like you're on a vacation.
Totally. And
A
you guys...
vacation passes so quick.
Yeah, absolutely. Very true. And speaking of feeling like you just moved here yesterday, I can still hear all your accents.
That's good. They're not the heaviest from out there either. But
No, they're not.
We
but
get that.
Yeah, that's funny though. Do people ever like when they see you, they're like, "Oh, you're not from here." Do you get that?
I don't as much get it. I've had a few people point out. I've had a couple people upon learning that I'm from the East Coast be like, "Oh, you sound like you're from around here."
Yeah.
If I have to say, John sounds like he's from the West.
Yeah,
Because he's been out here the longest. He's got a few isms that he's adopted.
I think you give Matt and I like 2 beer and it'll come out even worse.
Don't get us around a group of ourselves.
That's hilarious. Can't wait for that one. Yeah, that's so sick. Very cool. So, what do you guys have currently working? What are you guys currently working on right now in terms of projects?
So
Anything you're allowed to talk about, by the way.
Yeah, no, great question. We are currently, Tyler's editing a few videos that we've shot in the past week or so that are more of Kelowna-specific experiences. So just getting content that is not even so much call to action oriented, but just spreading happiness, spreading joy, spreading energy, showing our cinematic skills at the same time.
Yeah.
Is there anything I'm missing that maybe we should or shouldn't say?
A lot of our projects, we have a confidentiality clause that we can't release. We can only do teasers behind the scenes until they launch their commercials or their products.
Okay.
We just started working with a national brand to do some Boxing Day things.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was our first major client, which is kind of a cool milestone for us, again, like Matt said.
And on Friday morning, we can kind of talk about that.
Yeah, so tomorrow morning we are going to be partnering up with a local business and this is really important. It's not about us, but there was an opportunity to collaborate to not only do this good thing, but we can help them promote it. So what it is a warm clothes drive. So jackets, scarves, hats, sweaters, mittens, things like that.
Right.
That's for a local business just downtown there. And what we're doing tomorrow is just going to go in. We have a lot of stuff we've accumulated to donate, and we were looking for someone to do this with anyways. We want to give back. We want to get to we want to be quickly rooted in this community.
Right.
Not just we're not people here to do business.
Yeah.
Earn money and leave or do anything like that. This is going to be our home. This is our home.
Yeah.
Let's show people what we're really about. And this is stuff we would be doing on the East Coast. We're looking to do it as soon as possible here.
Yeah.
So we have a person in our company already does a lot of just self-lifts acts month to month where she'll go purchase soup and hand out, or she'll do different initiatives like that she takes on board that has nothing to do with anything but her personal.
Yeah.
So we spoke with her and asked, like, so we have this idea and we have this to offer, aka we have the coat, we have some clothing we can give, and video skill. We have promotional skills we can offer.
Yeah.
Who should we reach out to? And so we were pointed in this direction, and coincidentally we saw, and I think I can say the company because it's being promoted. It's Base Coat Beauty.
Okay.
They're a salon.
Right.
We saw Kelowna Now had actually shared a story saying that this initiative is happening, this warm clothing drive.
Yeah.
Anybody looking to help out, reach out to them. So we said, not only would we like to donate, how can we help spread the word? And I think they're doing it until Christmas. You can check our Instagram out or hers for formal details. We'll make sure that's clear on what day is the last day. But we encourage everybody to get out there and give what they can, or even tell somebody else about it to see if they have something to offer. So just looking to give back, and you can keep an eye out for a quick little promo video coming from that here probably in the next couple days.
Very cool. Well, this podcast isn't gonna come out until Monday next week. So by that point, the video might already be out. Actually,
great. Yeah. So go check out our Instagram, Amarok Media. Check out It's Base C Beauty, I do believe is her Instagram handle, for more details. But that is active right now, and don't hesitate. Go in there and help out.
Yeah, get it. Check it.
Check it out.
Very cool. So that's what you have coming up, nearby. Anything potentially in the future that you do want to work on?
Yeah, Tyler. So John will be going on some holidays. We're really looking forward to the spring. First of all, I'll preface with
I think everybody is,
and all the filming and all the aside from personal projects we have planned. Really looking forward to deal with some golf courses we have lined up. More lifestyle oriented stuff where the weather's nice. But even in the meantime, the more immediate future, Tyler and I are looking at, we were just talking yesterday about doing a little short film or two over the holiday break. I know John will be traveling to see some family over the holidays, and businesses are pretty slow here. So we thought, what if we take a couple weeks to flex our creative muscle, kind of take a break, not a break, but hey, let's not forget about our own personal creative juices, something that may not be so on brand with Amarok.
Yeah.
Potentially, maybe there's something there, but just stuff that it's healthy to get out and practice. And in that way, we hone our skills for the business too. Did you want to just maybe give a little insight as to what the idea we're thinking about, or is that still under wraps?
It's formed enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
it'll be a short film.
Sure.
That's what I'm talking about. It would be like a short film that we might submit to some local festivals, some national ones.
Wow.
And things like that.
Very cool. Will there be any sort of promotion on Amarok about your personal projects, or is that you want to keep in totally different?
Yeah, we'll share it. At least share links to it. We have our YouTube channel, and we put our content on there too, right? To capture more eyes. So we'll probably post it on there and point some arrows to it.
Very cool.
And stay tuned for that. These guys are too modest to tell you, but they did win first and second place at 2 different film festivals on the East Coast. So
really
looking to bring home some medal for sure.
Hey, tell me about it.
One other thing, then, I guess, because we're probably going to return to one of the festivals we had a bit of success with was the Good Robot Independent Film Festival.
Okay.
And so there were certain criteria that was associated with that one. So it was a strange project that we ended up creating based on the criteria that was included, but we came up with a little short film that we are thinking about turning into more of an episodic series.
Okay.
So really trying to just figure out, like, what does that mean? How long is an episode compared to what we did one time? How often can we keep turning them out? How much energy do we spend on it, and all of that good stuff? What I'm getting at is we do have an episode in the can, as they say, and another one scripted, ready to roll too. So I think apart from that short film we just kind of alluded to, we probably return to a couple of those episodes. And that is a little featurette we call Figures for now, tentatively, potentially forever.
Okay.
And we'll be releasing those. Happy to share those. And we had a lot of good response from it. It's more of the comedic side of us.
Okay.
And it's nothing anyone is expecting ever. So that's one of our favorite things too. We like to be a little abstract, a little different, outside of the box, bring our different perspective to a new community. So
Yeah.
keep an eye out for that project. And I think, we're going to work to get everybody something, a little more of a taste of that project in the new year.
Yeah, it sounds like you guys have a very vibrant future ahead of you. I'm really excited about that.
Well, we're trying to aim that way.
Yeah.
And just take left foot, right foot, keep stepping in the right direction. Don't stand still and don't move back.
Yeah. Matt, you're really on point with these analogies, man. Like, you're always...
Non-stop on the metaphor.
He's got them all written down.
It's probably a deflection. I'm just realizing right now, I'm probably like, I don't know what to say, so I'll say something vague and mystique. And, no, we're just, we're too creative at times. Hey,
there's no such thing as too creative,
you know?
man. No such thing.
Don't even know what to say.
Very cool. Okay, I have some specific questions for you guys here. So, Matt, what's one thing about Nova Scotia that you miss a lot that you can't get here?
There's like 3 or 4 things, and I'll
list it.
I'll boil it straight down to food.
Okay, yeah.
For certain food. So the seafood's obviously outstanding, let alone the lobster be number one. You got lobster poutine. I'm not going to get into all the lobster foods, but we have donair meats over there, and that goes a long way. Donair sauce. You guys can Google it, look into it. I'm not going to go recipe, break things down what it is, but it's basically how you eat your pizza a little bit better. So once you guys check that out, research it, maybe you'll include some donair sauce
John's
around
just
here.
oh my God, just head and palm, just like shaking his head.
I couldn't hate donair sauce anymore, so...
He's been out here too long.
I see.
We really like, I'm going to say we, I know you asked me, I'll turn back to me here. The landscape.
Yeah.
Where we grew up there and know it so well and lived there, it feels like every nook and cranny is my home, is our home. Like when you live in Nova Scotia, as you do in the interior and everything, you travel a lot of it. BC is so massive. I don't know if everybody in BC always sees all of BC even. But Nova Scotia is small enough you can see all of it and you can live your life exploring all of it. So it's sort of a region where I don't see as just a small hometown. I see like that is a large home of mine where I have an expanse of friends over. So it's just like, it'll be nice to go back home and recap everybody on what's been going out here and kind of like show them, listen, it's sometimes nice to kind of get away and not be in the same place all the same time.
Yeah.
And another thing too is it's kind of, I think, similar in size to the Okanagan. So it'd be like, Lake Country, Vernon, Penticton, Summerland, Peachland, and all Kamloops, like all this area. That's like our province, and we have friends and family everywhere.
Yeah.
So it's just it's a large home. But that's just me. And I could go on about a million different things, so I'll stop there.
Hey, no problem. You can keep going, man. Like my computer can keep on going. As long as my computer can go, you can keep talking. So
no, I guess probably just like the coastline.
Right.
When you're a peninsula like it is, you're almost an island, so you're almost completely surrounded by ocean. So like John said earlier, lakes, it's actually looks like it's, if you looked at a map and zoomed in on Nova Scotia, it looks like it's filled with holes of water. There's so many lakes, so much coastline and beaches and things. That's why it was a good transition coming here. Visited John and we're boating and having fun, and you can go fishing, you can do anything you want on the water. So and plus water's conducive to creativity. Yeah,
and it's really great calming properties too. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's always, I've always wanted to check out Nova Scotia. I'm not gonna lie, because something about like, you hear about BC, it's got, the things that it has, and I'm really happy to be living here instead of like in some village in India. But I'm also, I've been to like the middle parts of Canada as well. I've been as far as like Alberta, which is as middle as you think it might be. And then, but I've never been to the East Coast. Like the furthest east I've gone is like Niagara Falls and Toronto. Okay. But I want to know what it's like to eat like real Atlantic lobster and like seafood. See, the thing is, I used to be vegetarian for 12 years and I literally quit being vegetarian this year. And so I've been like diving in, like
Get into it.
Yeah,
man. Yeah.
like, oh my God. Okay.
If I had known that, I'd have brought just some random treat for you.
Oh man. Yeah.
We're carnivores, this wolf pack.
It fits with the brand. Sick. Because if you were vegetarians, I'd be like, wait a minute.
What's going on here? The East Coast, I'll say though, you should definitely go check out sometime. The people are lovely.
Yeah, I bet.
Everyone's friendly there. I mean, for the most part, unless it's like maybe traffic jam time, and you're gonna see a little road rage anywhere. But really, people are just looking to welcome you in and have a kitchen party.
Yeah. Any particular places that I should check out for lobster?
The whole area region, but we always point people, I think, kind of southwestern Nova Scotia, where the fishing grounds are prime, like globally, and so it's just going to be a few hours fresher or a day fresher if you go southern Nova Scotia.
Right, because I literally had lobster for the first time last week.
Oh, did you like it?
Oh yeah, it was so good.
It's such a delicious sweet meat.
Yeah, well, see, the thing is, here in the wintertime, well, near winter in Kelowna, like in the middle of the week, it's not the freshest, right? It was at a nice restaurant, that's for sure, and it was good, but I was like, I'm sure it's better in Nova Scotia or like somewhere along the Atlantic.
We hope so, because we boast so.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, next question. I'll give it to Tyler. So do you mostly shoot in black and white on your Pentax?
That's a great question. I got that last summer, like in the middle of the summer on Kijiji or something. Someone was selling this old analog Pentax camera. And I'd always said like I wanted to get a film camera and just kind of mess around with that a little bit more. And this one's a really simple one to start with because it's mostly automatic. Like there's hardly any settings other than your aperture and your focus and stuff. So
I have a Canon it's a Canon
K100. Is it?
Wait, maybe I'm getting this mixed up.
K1.
I think it is a Pentax K1000 actually.
Okay.
Yeah, I think. I might be mixing it up here, but man, those are great cameras though. And I think but my camera is the same as yours. It only shoots like you can only change the aperture and focus and that's it. But it's fun to shoot analog, isn't it?
It is a lot of fun. It's so weird. Like I'm so used to our digital cameras and our phones that like, you take 1,000 shots of one thing and one of them's going to be great. But this is like, I take the one picture. I have no idea how it's coming out until like maybe a month later when I finally develop the film. And I recently got a few rolls of black and white, as you mentioned, from within the film factory. There's another business called Not Dead Darkroom.
Ooh.
And they do only black and white development there because the local drugstores that still develop film have to send black and white away. So he does it right here in Kelowna.
Right.
So I'm trying that out, and it's really fun to play with like the shadows and everything like that. I like playing with taking photos of new technology, but with the old technology.
Oh, that's funny.
Sort of thing.
That's interesting. Cool.
Yeah.
And do you think that you'd ever move on and graduate to like medium format or large format film or anything like that? Or is that sort of...
I would love to. Like a goal of mine someday is to shoot even like a 16 millimeter film, like short film or something.
Yeah.
It makes no sense to do it these days.
Well, have you seen music videos shot on film now? Because they look so good.
Well, it is an aesthetic of that. Like you get that graininess and that warmth that people always talk about with film.
Yeah. And even the zoom though, like when you see like an analog zoom lens, it's so different from the lenses that you would buy from like Best Buy or something. Just the way that they do it is just like, oh, I can tell that's analog, you know?
Definitely.
Yeah.
That's the weird thing is with all the change in technology, glass is the one thing that's stayed very same, like a lot the same.
Yeah. And
we've noticed with even some of the photos I've taken with my Pentax, like when they're developed, if everything's in focus, it's just as clear as our like, $6,000-$7,000 DSLR or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's insane how like film and that stuff, we're just catching up to it, and it's such an old technology.
Yeah.
And things are just starting to match that within in the digital world anyway.
Yeah, it's almost like we're just sort of innovating in technology just for the convenience of it. It's like even though excuse me, even though analog is just so it's the clarity is just the same as digital, as you were saying, but it's just the convenience of being able to like take like 3,000 photos in one sitting, or just being able to like flip through them so quickly and then edit them on Photoshop. There's no dark rooms up there. I'm gonna save that pun that you might be thinking about right there. But yeah, no, it's great. I love shooting in analog and digital. There's so much magic in capturing a photo in the first place, but yeah, it's great.
The one thing that like terrifies, I like to do things that terrify me.
Yeah.
Because that's usually when you kind of break out of your shell and things.
Yeah.
And the one thing that's terrifying and exciting is the idea of shooting a film on film.
Yeah.
And not being able to just check the playback immediately. Like we have to wait for that development, and maybe we didn't get the shot. Maybe, you know, you've really got to make sure everything's perfect before you start rolling.
True. And you like, if you want to do it true to analog, you're gonna have to cut and splice the film itself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I've got a little 8mm splicer and viewer.
Yeah.
And I have a couple of 8mm cameras, but I haven't messed around with those either.
Oh.
Yeah, I need to buy some film. The 8mm film's a little harder to get your hands on, but
Yeah, like photography film is pretty easy to find, right? There's some local shops that sell that.
oh,
but
even the London Drugs here is like fully set up for film still, which is kind of weird, but I embrace it.
Yeah. They're totally capitalizing on the hipster market here right now.
That's definitely it. I've been accused a couple times.
Me
that's for
too,
sure.
man. Me too. Yeah. Okay, now I want to shift my focus over to John here. So I have 2 questions for you, actually.
Oh, I don't know if we got time. No, I'm just playing.
So I'll ask my first question. What's your favorite ice cream?
Oh, man. How much time do you have?
Oh, dude. Like I said, man, my computer has 2 terabytes.
All right. Shout out to the parlor. Plug for the parlor here.
Oh, yeah.
They got
I
the
was
best ice
hoping
cream
you'd say
hands
that.
down, man.
Don't go anywhere else.
If you haven't tried it, you're wasting your time. Quit your job. Do whatever you got to do. Go right now. But during Easter, they have a mini egg ice cream there, and it's better than real food.
Oh, my
It's good for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's by far the best flavor.
What's your favorite flavor outside of Easter? What's each of your favorites?
Okay. Well, I mean, cookies and cream is a staple.
Okay.
I'm like your blueberry and raspberry cheesecake type of things.
Okay.
I go heavy on the pistachio.
Okay, my girlfriend's favorite is pistachio and lavender as well, but my favorite, coffee chocolate. Coffee chocolate is so amazing.
That's a powerful flavor.
It is dangerous. Watch me get fat and hate myself with that ice cream if I had a tub of it.
Fat and alert.
Yeah.
Coffee.
I love coffee chocolate, man. That stuff is so amazing. But Parlor, I was hoping you'd say that because they make the best ice cream hands down in Kelowna.
Honestly, they're one of the
no
reasons
cap.
why we all moved here.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Those are great. The
Yeah.
service is great.
Yeah, Omar's the man.
Honestly.
Omar's dope. I follow him. I want to get him on here.
He should.
This
Yeah.
podcast is not sponsored by Parlor. But if you're hungry for ice cream and you cannot get to Parlor, go without until you get to Parlor.
Yeah, go to Parlor. Legit.
Yeah.
They're not paying us at all. I promise.
Not yet.
Okay. Exactly.
Yeah.
But second question. How was skydiving for you, my guy?
Oh man, it was terrifying. I'm afraid of heights.
Oh.
Yeah, but I'm also the type of crazy that likes to conquer my fears. So it was on my bucket list to go skydiving. And the older I get, the more of a chicken shit I get. So it was like a now or never kind of scenario. Somebody proposed it. So it was something else. I threw up before I got on the plane. I jumped at 13,500 feet, and I don't know if I'll ever do it again. I still feel like I'm falling. So
Wow.
yeah, luckily,
Clouds around.
luckily I had a sweet woman on my backside that coaxed me and sang Tiny Dancer in my ears the whole time.
Tiny Dancer, why?
Because I was actually going to an Elton John concert right after that.
Oh.
Yeah, and she's like, "What do you want to hear?" And I just said Tiny Dancer. So she sang to me while we jumped, and it was a moment.
Wow.
Yeah,
So
couldn't have done it without her.
in the beginning of that day, you basically like nearly risked your life jumping out of a plane, and then later on, you got coaxed into you got lullabied by Elton John.
Yeah, big time.
Dude.
It was a big day for me.
It's a dynamic day,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
I think that jump is the one that inspired Will Smith to do his.
I think he copied us. Yeah.
Oh, speaking of that, did you guys watch YouTube Rewind 2018?
I didn't see it this year.
Not 2018.
No? Oh, okay. Did you guys hear about it though?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty trash.
Did you see it?
I did watch it. Yeah.
What's your take then? You know more about us, more than us right now about it.
Well, see, the thing for me was that it was just so like. The thing is, my problem was that they got like Will Smith to start off the whole thing. Then they had like John Oliver and like Trevor Noah, and like those guys aren't YouTubers. Yeah. Those guys are just like mainstream people. And the thing to me was that they were trying to connect to the audience, but what they did was that they made it appealing for advertisers and make it be like, hey, this is a giant ad to show how like great and successful YouTube is and why we're so great. But the thing that they did was that they disconnected from the audience that actually watches that stuff. And so it's at this point the most disliked video on all of YouTube right now.
Really?
Yeah. And I just sort of thought, and they were,
That's gotta be bad.
it was honestly
There's bad stuff on there.
Yeah, it was
Real bad
There's some real bad stuff on there.
it was quickly the most disliked video. Like there's never been a video on YouTube that has been disliked faster than that video.
Do we have an approximate on what the dislike counter's at?
Yeah, I can look it up.
Let's use technology
I know
here.
what we're doing when we get back to the office.
We're checking that out.
Disliking
Disliking it without watching.
You're not a part of the team if you don't dislike YouTube Rewind 2018. That goes for all the listeners as well. Keep in mind. Okay, YouTube Rewind 2018.
What do we got here?
Okay, so it's got 121 million views. It's got 2.1 million likes and 10 million dislikes.
Whoa.
Check out that ratio. It beat Baby by Justin Bieber as the most disliked video on YouTube.
You know, the sad thing is they're going to go further viral because it's so bad that so many people are going to keep clicking on it and watching it and looking at it.
Oh, yeah.
That's the
We're talking about it more than 2017.
right? Yeah.
Yeah,
like
2017 was
talking about
bad
it.
too, but like I think it's kind of become a meme now. Like let's
Yeah.
dislike YouTube Rewind at this point. So but no, it's crazy. I thought it was a little heavy-handed to be honest, but some parts of it, but yeah.
YouTube's really changed over the past like 2 years, and I don't know if it's for the better.
Yeah, you know what? The thing is that they're catering to advertisers so much so that they kind of take away a lot of the content that everybody really liked, or at least a lot of the sort of like edge to it that a lot of people really liked. What are your guys' favorite YouTubers, by the way?
Account that I really like recently is Patrick H. Willems.
Okay.
And he does video essays about films, and he's set in New York. And he does a great one on Paddington. I think everyone should watch that. I'm a huge Paddington fan.
Okay.
He just released one on the Home Alone movies.
Oh, very cool.
Which was kind of with the season and everything. But yeah, I really, really enjoy his video essays.
Yeah. I love video essays so much. I watch a ton of video essays on technology and music, and oh my god, they're so amazing. That genre is to me one of the most exciting forms of content on YouTube, like hands down.
Yeah,
for sure.
And it's just like I love going deep on every movie I watch or TV show. Like I love knowing all the details or what the director was thinking, and like as much info as I can. And that's what I love about a lot of these video essays.
Yeah,
is they give you a bit of context of
and
what was
insight.
going on. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I do too. As soon as I'm done watching a movie, I straight go to IMDb and I look at all the trivia.
I'm the same.
I just love trivia and Easter eggs, especially when you see Easter eggs like honoring or mentioning or doing something, some sort of fan service to stuff that you love. You know what I mean? It's just the best.
I actually saw a screen grab on Instagram this morning, and I don't think this is a spoiler or anything, but Edgar Wright posted a screen grab from Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
And there's a shot where Spider-Man's in Times Square, and one of the billboards is for Shaun of the Dead.
Oh.
Which I thought was like such a cool little hidden Easter egg in the background, right? Like, there's so much animated stuff. They crank in a lot of hidden secrets.
Yeah, because they can.
Exactly.
Right? What do you fill those frames with?
Yeah.
Just so cool. Yeah.
An account that I like on YouTube is kind of more of an act, like they've they've gone with a show format for it, less so than like a personal vlogger or something. Maybe you've heard of them, and it turned me into an addict. But Hot Ones, First We Feast. Yeah.
Oh, I love Hot
Their
Ones.
interviews are great.
Yeah.
And the premise is original. I mean, it's been bit off of now, and people are trying to replicate it or whatever. But it's hilarious.
Sean
and
Evans
it's fun
is
to
the
do with your
man.
friends.
Yeah.
And like through Sean Evans, then you're like with Complex Magazine, see a lot of other content too that he
Yeah.
does with a lot of artists and musicians in particular.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, Hot Ones, because they have comedians and actors and musicians and every different type of person on there, all
Yeah.
kind of going through the hot wing gauntlet.
Yeah.
It's interesting to see people when their guard is a little bit down.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
how they respond and how they present themselves. So I thought, kind of like just psychologically, it's a really cool insight into the interview game and how you might be able to shake things up and be really current and relevant.
Damn, if I'd known that, I would have brought hot wings here to get you guys to eat on the interview.
We're champions. We're addicts. We
Are you?
order them online. Those ones that you can't get in a store because they're stupid and they hurt people. We get them.
Heat seekers.
We're
Are
heat
ya?
seekers. We're pepperheads.
Okay, and I'm Indian, so I'll get you to like eat some of my mom's food, see
Yeah,
what you
some
guys
good
think.
curries and shit. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Next time when you guys come back on here, I'll get some hot wings ready for you, and it'll be like we'll get this going, man.
I'd love that.
Yeah.
I'd love that. Maybe we film it. Maybe we do a little vlog of like maybe 3 or 4 wings that are super hot for everybody. Not take too long, but
Yeah.
have some fun with it.
Yeah. I went to New York City in September, right? And I went to Chelsea Market, which is right across from the Google headquarters, right underneath YouTube headquarters. And they have the Heatonist over there. The Heatonist, which is, of course, affiliated with
Yes,
Hot Ones.
yes.
They had all their hot sauces laid out
Interesting.
for you to try.
Did you?
I did. I started from the very least hot with
Yeah.
my girlfriend. We put little dabs of hot sauce on pieces of paper,
Yeah.
and we just put it in our mouth. So no chicken to like do anything with the flavor. So we're going for it. We're going from the least hot to the most hot. My girlfriend taps out at level 6, which is like 50% through, and I'm like, I gotta keep going, and I keep going at like level 8 or 9 or 10 or whatever. I start to cry. I'm actually
Yeah.
crying when I
Yeah.
do this, but my girlfriend's like, do you want some water? I'm like, no, I gotta get through this, because I was so inspired by Guy Fieri's Hot Ones, where he
Yeah,
wouldn't
yeah.
drink any water or any milk, and he seems so chill. I'm like, I gotta get
He's
through
a
with
beast.
this. Yeah,
He's a
mad
beast.
points for respect on that
Yeah.
guy. But
do you happen to know any of the names of those sauces, like, or how hot they were?
I asked the guy about the Scoville levels, but
Yeah.
he was like, I don't know. But
Okay.
apparently Sean goes through that place quite a bit, or the Brooklyn location of the Heatonist. But I went all the way through. I tried every hot sauce with no water or milk.
Awesome. Good for you.
So
Good for
thank you.
Hand of applause.
Yeah. Good for you.
I was like, I was dying, man. I'm not gonna lie. I felt, honestly, I felt vibrations when I was
Hey,
eating that
this
stuff.
is why we do it.
Yeah.
You feel different after.
You
It's
do.
strange. It's weird.
You do. And then, at Chelsea Market, by the way, if you guys want to flip through, so just, here's all the hot sauces. You can just swipe this
Okay,
way
yeah.
to see all the individual sauces. But you might recognize a few of those.
I already recognize a bunch of them from the labels there.
Yeah, Los Calientes, I tried that one.
Yeah, it's
Was
a
it
classic
tasty?
on this
It
thing.
was, yeah.
Did they sell the Hot Ones brand sauces in there?
They didn't have that there. No, I really wanted to try because every celebrity was like, "Oh, this is so good," I'm just like, I wonder if these guys are paid to say that, but they just they always land
gotta
on
be.
that and are like, "Oh, this is good." I'm just like,
I can't tell with Sean when he's like, "Oh, thanks. Well, we actually made that ourselves." I don't know if he's like actually saying surprised and therefore that was a genuine comment, or he's just following it up with, we made it ourselves, which is yet another plug for it. I can never tell.
Yeah, I know.
But they do get a lot of positive feedback on the middle one. It's the Hot Ones.
One you were saying.
yeah,
the delicious one there.
Los Calientes, yeah, and even the versions before that,
They get a lot of honest feedback if it's honest. I
Yeah.
don't know what it is, but people don't need to say it unless they're prompted. I don't know how much of that show's edited. It seems like, because sometimes you get a glimpse into that show. You're like, oh, there's cameras here, and they're
Yeah.
taking a spot, and you can see when people like have their fits and have to come back.
Yeah,
So I don't know
yeah.
what's being said behind the curtain,
But hey,
but I went and bought some of those sauces based on what they said. So
damn, I would love to try some of those
Yeah.
sauces too. Again, again. It's an experience. But we were going in order of something. I don't remember what. Oh yeah, favorite YouTubers. Yeah. John, what's your favorite YouTuber, man?
Man, that's such a broad question. Amarok Media Co plug for sure.
Counts, but
I go through phases though. Honestly, I use YouTube for a lot of like informational and how-to videos more than anything. Obviously, Joe Rogan plug that I watch the videos instead of the podcast.
He's the OG. Yeah.
For some reason, it's just more electric, I find. But yeah, I would have to say he's my most watched, I guess.
Yeah.
Probably to be fair, he's probably my most watched.
He is everybody's. Sure, well, most people's. So I feel bad saying that, but what's up, Joe Rogan?
Coming at you next.
Next podcast.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, great. I think I've kind of like hit all my questions here, except for this final one. Who's Strider? Who's dog?
Local celeb.
Yeah.
So Strider adopted me and my girlfriend about a year or so ago. Strider comes from my hometown, but we were living in Halifax and we wanted a dog and we knew somebody who needed to rehome a guy.
Okay.
So he's not like a rescue by any means, but we took him off the hands of an older woman who couldn't take care of him anymore. So he's my Samoyed, my 6-year-old purebred Samoyed, and we have fun with him. He's got quite a personality. He's got his own account. You can go check
fluffy.
his Instagram out at Strider Samoyed.
Yeah.
He's always fluffy, always smiling. He's very classy. He's got a new video out. He's got a holiday Yule log, so it's him in front of a fireplace for 1 hour and 12 minutes.
Is that actually a straight shot for an hour and a half?
It's on YouTube now.
How did you get that? Does that dog always just chill by the fireplace like that?
He just chills. He's here to hang out with us.
Yo.
He's not a regular dog. He's got human eyes. You'll see that if you go see the video.
I noticed that.
Yeah.
Yo, I noticed that.
There's a link to our full video in our bio too, if anyone wants to actually go see. It's just something cool to set on the TV and do your holiday thing with.
Yeah.
But he's interesting. There's a nice crackling fire. He eats carrots. That's his he eats carrots every day. That's his favorite food.
Cute.
And so just to make sure he was content, we slipped him the odd carrot every 15, 20 minutes. And you can watch him crunch on those. You'll probably never have more joy in your life.
Wow. Yeah, everybody go check out Strider and follow that dog. Honestly, like,
And
who's the star in this whole Amarok thing? It's Strider.
And he's open to collaborating with anybody listening.
Yeah. Little known secret, Amarok is actually based on Strider, that logo. That's Strider right there.
Yeah, that's him when he was thinner.
Yeah, but no, now I'm genuinely out of questions. I don't really have very much to ask, except for, actually, do you guys have any questions for me at all?
What do you have going on? What's your thing? People probably never ask or talk to you. Do you get to talk about yourself enough?
Well, I mean, I ask every guest like if they have any questions for me at all. And what I have going on is that I have this podcast going on. What I'm trying to do is there's a lot of like behind the scenes stuff that I'm trying to like iron out. There's a lot of work in front of me for that, and I'm actually planning on adding a few extra things. I feel like right after high school, I got a lot of I went to college, but I also spent my time just like having fun and just like going to shows and like meeting a few people. So I wanted to sort of tell different stories based on that. Like, for example, in 2012, I met like Tyler, the Creator.
Oh, cool.
In the peak of like Odd Future Time. So that was a story I wanted to tell. I met like Lil B and like other people like that. I met Casey Neistat in September. And so like little stories like that. So I wanted to sort of like express them, and maybe I'll find a way to sort of lay that out there in the For the Culture Canada world.
That's
and
cool.
So I'm planning on rebranding a little bit, like really like getting it ready for 2019.
Awesome.
You know, so
we look forward to hearing those stories. Those are the interesting ones.
Thank you very much.
Especially like when even by virtue of through someone else get to experience someone who's whatever level of influential they have, if there's success in their industry, and it's all tied, that the entertainment arts industry for us is all tied together.
Yeah.
If the only way I can speak to Casey Neistat is through you, I still want to hear that story.
Yeah.
And so, we look forward to seeing those come.
We should film it, really. You telling these stories and stuff, right?
Well, boys. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, that's something we could talk about.
Yeah, definitely. Well, cool. Anything else you guys would like to say? Anything you'd want to bring out to the world? Also, definitely plug yourselves, by the way.
Yeah, I was just going to plug our Instagram, which is at Amarok Media. Our Facebook page, Amarok Media Co. Our website,
Amarok.
Yeah,
Which
that's
I'm sure the spelling will be somewhere in the title
Oh
of
yeah,
this podcast.
yeah. I always
sure.
put the links up. Yeah.
and of course our website where you can contact us, howl at us as we like to say, amarokmediaco.com.
There you go.
Yeah.
Very cool. Great. Yeah, absolutely. You guys should definitely follow those guys. They're doing some really cool work. It's really cool to see what
Thank
they're doing
you.
in their
It's nice,
2019.
kind of you to say.
Yeah, no problem. And your 2019 looks very vibrant. I'm very looking forward to this next year. I think
We
it's
are
going to
too.
be so much fun.
We can't wait for the next time we speak. There's going to be more context. It'll be what have you done since then, and we'll have all kinds of exciting
Exactly.
things to
And
catch
that's
up
kind of
on.
the whole deal. And I want to turn this into a video podcast type deal. Because you know what? It's like cool to have a conversation, but it's another thing to like, I want to show off this room. You know what I mean? I want to like show like, hey, look, man, I have a sparkly glitter wall on here. So
I wondered if like this was a party that went crazy, if this was a little sister that went crazy, if this was your own personality.
I'm
that's
that
going
little
crazy.
sister.
Awesome.
Yeah, no, it was my idea. My girlfriend did such an amazing job. I suck at painting, but but I like my ideas. So I was like,
That's a great statement. I like my ideas. Good.
So I basically just sort of was like, okay, look, in this room, I want to have like this coral sort of color on one, like in some walls. I want yellow in some walls, and I want like 3 black walls. So one black wall is this glitter wall here. Basically what we did was we poured a bunch of glitter into, and if you feel it's totally flat, like you can't feel any of the sparkles. But I basically had this like glitter and I poured it into this very black bucket of paint. We mixed it, and then we looked inside the bucket and like all the sparkles are gone. We can't see anything anymore. So we're like, this plan's not going to work. Then we poured it into the little tray where you have the roller go into, and when you apply it onto the wall, it shows up. It's the most amazing thing. And as it dries, it goes more and more sparkly. It's so sick.
That's awesome.
And as you shine light on it, or you move around and light moves, the sparkles move too. And I think it'd be just so sick to have this like on video. It's already been on video once, actually. There's a rapper from Kelowna now in Vancouver named Dead Rose who's got a music video that we shot in here with this wall. But I want to get it more out there. And I want
space.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And this yellow wall I want behind me. And you guys have the coral wall. It's sort of like also branding and marketing too, right? Because, that color is actually very much sort of like a part of the For the Culture Canada brand. And that wall right there, to your guys' right, is actually a black chalkboard wall that you can write onto.
Okay.
Faded stuff there.
Yeah, the
Nice.
faded stuff we tried to wipe off, but it just didn't come off right away. So I have to reapply and then seal it, and then it'll be good. And then the final black wall is actually the door frame, and we also put a colored glitter over there as well.
Okay, yeah.
So
That's
you'll see
fun.
that as you guys like exit. So yeah.
Sweet space.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that a lot. Yeah. And I want it to be kind of like a cozy, chill hangout spot. And the colors are supposed to be they're supposed to stimulate your senses a little bit.
Yeah.
So yeah.
good.
But anyway, I don't really have very much else to say to you guys. I think I've nailed every single question that I wanted and more. Didn't think that we were going to get into hot sauces here, but thank you so much for being a part of the show, guys. I really, really appreciate it a lot. This is a fun show.
Thanks for reaching out to have us.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
I
Yeah,
appreciate it. Can't wait to do it again.
absolutely. And once again, I wanted to let you guys know to follow Amarok Media Company. They're on Instagram, they're on Twitter, they're on YouTube, they're all over the place, and make sure you check out their website as well and see what they're up to. And make sure that you follow us at For the Culture Canada on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, Google Play, all that stuff. We're out there. And make sure that if you follow any of us on whatever platforms, if there's a rating system, please rate us, rate the show, rate Amarok Media if you've worked with them, and reach out. And it really helps us grow as young businesses and young brands and everything like that. And and make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Facebook as well at For the Culture Canada. And I will see you guys later. Have a great day, y'all.
See ya.